welcome to the What If, or no, actually custom card review. And yeah, and don't give me credit about like this custom card review thing, but this is the custom cards for Yu-Gi-Oh! Venom archetype. So basically, the my new support for it is some of these cards are like there's two cards that are treated as venom monsters. So basically, Venom Swamp and Venom Deity of Poisonous Snakes. So I picked those two. So let's begin with a spell card. This time instead of a normal like trap cards. So we got Snake Kingdom. It's a field spell. This card's name is always treated as Venom Swamp. So basically, yeah. And all reptile type monsters on the field gain 1,000 attack and defense for each player's turn draw phase. And so then, yeah, so this card gains 1,000 attack. So during either player's end phase, place one Venom counter on each face-up monster except Venom monsters. Monsters lose 500 attack for each Venom counter on them. Destroy a monster if its attacks become 0 by this effect. Once per turns during your standby phase, quick effect, you can shuffle one reptile monster from your banish zone into the deck. Your opponent gains 2,000 attack points. So this has 3 effects. Its first effect is basically a like all reptile monsters gain like 1,000 attack for each draw phase, but at each player's end phase is they play one Venom counter. So basically, this card makes reptiles gain 1,000 attack, but also losing 500 attack. So so then we got the snake attack. It's not snake, it's snake attack. It's a counter trap where if this card can only be activated if your opponent declares an attack or activates a card effect. You can banish one reptile monster from your graveyard or deck. And then negate it and then shuffle it back into the owner's deck. No matter if it was unaffected by card effects and can't be targeted by card effects. If your reptile type monster gets destroyed and sent to the graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one I can't even say the name of it. Venom, the king of poisonous snake, or the deity of the poisonous snakes. Because it can't even, monster from your deck or hand to your field and treat it as if they were properly summoned. So basically what it means is basically the so it has negation and it has a cost, basically like banish a monster to negate a effect. And then if your reptile gets destroyed, you can banish this card and special summon like both the big boss monsters. So sorry, I was still on. So yeah, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing. So you can basically summon either her, because this card says is and treated as if they were properly summoned. So basically, you can special summon her out with her effect, or the king or him out, because it says cannot be special summoned by an other effect monster's effects. So yeah, this card, yeah, so you can summon both of those two out by just banishing this card. And yeah, so yeah, I never thought I could ever use a card like this one to bring out two bad cards. Yeah, so then we got Crystal, that's with a K. Here, the Princess of the Snake Kingdom. She's dark, level 4, reptile effect monster. Her effect is, first, she is treated as the hold on. Treated as that one on the field, or a graveyard. So, yeah. So, I kind of made her like kind of busted version. So, this card is unaffected by venom, womp. Basically, that's what from the king of poisonous snakes had. But this one, because this one and the king, both of these two have like gains 500. This gains 1,000 attack and defense for each reptile monster on the field or in either player's graveyard. So basically I did tested the venom or her out, and I did tested this card out, and she could reach up to, because how much like snake support thing or reptiles could boost her up to like beyond Basically, like, she can be boosted up to up or around like 10,000 attack. And if this card is destroyed by battle or by card effects or by tributing, quick effect, you can shuffle one banished reptile monster from your banish zone into the deck, basically. Special summon this card to your field in attack mode. So basically, if this card is just like destroyed by battle or by card effects or by tributing, she can basically summon herself back. Like, aha, you can't destroy me. So she's unaffected by like cards this run. So yeah. But there is 2 other cards that I forgot to download for this custom card review. And one of them was the Snake Lord and the Snake Summoning. The Snake Summoning has the effect, is kind of opposite to the Snake Rain, basically. If you guys don't know what it means. Snake Rain. Snake Rain. If you guys don't know what... So this card has, like... Discard 1 card, send 4 reptiles, monsters from your deck to the graveyard. So... But, because... There's not very many reptiles in that could support it, so... But the monster... So the spell that I created is basically opposite. So basically so you can use this card and then you can discard, or so that spell card is basically depends on 4 reptiles from the graveyard that were sent to the banish zone by some like cards. Well, the spell card that I created, the summoning snake thing, is basically you take 2 monsters, 4 reptiles that were banished, puts them back into your deck, and it special summons 2 reptiles to your field. So basically, it's a combined of this one and I forgot the other one. So yeah. So like, imagine Venom Snake. You had 2 copies of those and 1 copy of this. And you had like all of these, because they're reptiles, so they go back into your deck. So basically, yeah. Because normally you can use like Snake Rain to get rid of 4 cards or 5 cards. You go -5 in my book. And then as with new like Snake Eyes support thing, I'm still gonna make the like all the reptiles monsters, including him, like the Venom, a lot more modern day support. but it will be like combined with a new archetype called Snake Kingdom. I'm saying snakes, like in SNAKE. So yeah, because Snake Kingdom is an upgraded version of Venom, but it doesn't need Venom counters to be like, So, and the Lord of the Snakes thing is basically is a monster where it I kind of added like the XYZ monsters, like not the synchro or not synchro. XYZ are type. No, that's not a wanted. A through Z. Or type. R. Yeah, so R type. Oh, yeah, so I accidentally didn't add the E at the end. So, like, this archetype is like with machines things like this one, and all of these guys have like unique powers, scales. And yeah, but I decided, so I took the X or VWXYZ Dragon Catapult Cannon thing. I took the effect of one of theirs, and I just added it to the new fusion monster for the snake archetype thing. But I kind of used the it was a fusion card of both her and the king, or both of these two. So I created a fusion monster that was level 12, because you can't pass level 12 for like these two, and you can banish these two from your field, graveyard, or hand, or actually from your to fusion summon it, and it has the similar to like they're both effects combined, and yeah. So I think I gave the Princess of the Snake Kingdom, and yeah, all of these cards, this new support, 3 out of 10, because the snake attack is basically a trap card where it does work with like reptiles one, and then we got Snake Kingdom where it boosts all reptile monsters, and it is treated as a Venom Swamp, where the original Venom Swamp hardly does anything. And plus, as the so yeah, and then this one, he is treated as a deity of poisonous snakes things on the field or in the graveyard. So this is like a retrain version of her. Of this card. Hold on. Because and no, I haven't made her like too broken because I didn't add like, oh, you win the duel kind. Because normal version. Sorry if you can't see it because some of these cards. Okay. There it is. So her effect is basically special summon this card, but when this card inflicts damage to your opponent's life points, or to your opponent, place one hyper venom counter on it. When this card is, or when the third hyper venom counter on is placed on this card, you win the duel. So this card, I didn't give the basically like a retrain version in that because I don't want to make her super broken. I didn't go extra mile to like be like, oh, this card is now banned, or this card is now too broken. It is banned now. But this monster doesn't need that restriction because it already has too many restrictions. So like you can shuffle one banished reptile monster from your banish zone. So basically, yeah, and then yeah. But if you guys want me to do more of like kind of like this, but before we go, and yeah, and plus the AI or image that I used, as you can see in image AI, or like I still call it an AI drawing. Kind of got messed up on this one, but it looks perfect on this one because this one is basically, yeah. But this one, I was trying to go for like the boss monster with a snake head and end up with her. But that's okay. But the other two came out perfectly, so don't get too mad at me for it's because the AI messed up on her. She's the very first one. The other two were just like I said normally. Yeah. So, and I also made another card called Number 9 Snake Destroyer. And it's a effect monster where it's like basically it requires to shuffle all banished cards into the deck. Or all banished reptile monsters to the deck and special summon it, and once per turn during your draw phase you can like I'm trying to remember what it was, but yeah. So if you guys want me to create more like give it more like speed things, like give it because venom counters is just like I know it's slow deck, but I need to make it a little bit faster. So, yeah, I might just maybe afternoon. I might just ask one of the other YouTubers, like custom card person, to like to help me with to fix up some of the problems of cards. So yeah, so maybe that's later in today, but yeah. So I chose the reptiles, or like venom because I have seen so many like people that do like, oh, I made custom cards, earns like ancient gear golem custom cards, or I made different monsters. Like I even turned the burrito into a monster and call it the toxic burrito that destroys all monsters that aren't food-based cards or anything like that. So yeah, so without further ado, because there's this new trend that I'm gonna test out. I am gonna test out because there's so I did no, sorry, I meant the pain archetype. So I'm gonna go over just choosing 2 cards from it this time. So I chose the marksman and the chief. So because normally you could see them like at the beginning of the game. So I know it's just supposed to be like Slayer and the chief, but I chose marksman because yeah. So this is gonna be. So let's do marksman. He's a dark level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's a level 7 beast warrior type monster. This card cannot be normal summon or set. Must be special summoned by tributing the pain monster on the field. Except this card. Once per turn, during either player's turns, target 1 card on the field. Destroy it. That targeted card to the graveyard. And this card is unaffected by card effects. And if this card is sent to the grave or battlefield, you can shuffle 1 card from your graveyard into your deck. Special summon this card to your field in attack mode, but its attack and defense become double, or gets doubled. You take no damage evolving this card. So yeah. And then the chief is a dark level 4 warrior effect monster. During your next standby phase, after this card is sent to the graveyard from the field to the graveyard by the effects of the monster or by tributing. I said or by tributing. Special summon this card from your graveyard or battlefield owned. So if this card inflicts damage, you can select 3 cards from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent's life points, and you take no damage and evolving this card. You can only use this effect for once per turn. So this is kind of like the doll of demise, but if it was a human. And that kind of reminds me. So yeah, because this card can tribute the chief thing. and it can bring itself back to the field. That's pretty good. And there was a card in it that I forgot to show is the Pain Flaming Doll of Demise. It's a equip spell, and if this card is equipped to a monster, and the equipped monster gains 2,000 defense, and if this card is sent to the grave or banished, quick effect, you can shuffle this card into the deck, negate all card effects on your opponent's field and hand until the end of your third turn. So, and if it does, all of your opponent's monsters cannot declare an attack, and so you're safe. So this card, so it basically locks down your opponent down. And if we were on the Doll of Demise retrained stuff, this would be it. So this is called Nightmare Doll of the Demise. It's a dark level 8 fiend effect monster. This card cannot be normal summon or set. Must be special summoned by attributing one dark or one fiend type monster on either player's field. This card can attack all monsters on the field. If this card is sent to the grave or banished zone by a card effect, or by battle, or by tributing, quick effect, you can special summon this card. Earn from your graveyard or banished zone during your next standby phase. But if it does, then you inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent's life points, and you take no damage evolving this card. So this card seems pretty busted, because like in horror movies with like dolls in it, is that they always come back to haunt someone in like their dreams. Like Chucky, that's one. And every other doll that were in like movies. So like basically this card tributes also the original Doll of Demise. Doll of Demise. This run. This run. Just summon a better version of it. So, because Doll of Demise has the effect of if this card is sent to the grave, from the field to the grave by a card effect, special summon this card from your graveyard during your next standby phase. So, this one takes it to a whole nother level. Yeah, and it can special summon itself by tributing either any monster from the field. You could basically tribute your opponent's monsters to your field. Oh, and because you can have multiple advantages, and you can use this card to attack into all monsters. So basically you can if it was animated, it would have been like he could slice, use the big version and slice right through all monsters. And then if this card is sent to the grave or banished. So yeah, it basically has an upgraded version of the original one. Because some cards that get banished, instead of sending them to the grave, they get banished, and yeah, so if you guys want me to do a test out for him, let me know in the comments below, and have a good night or day, depending on the time zones, and sorry this video was super long, so peace out, y'all. Peace.